Cues with the Beauts. Cues with the Beauts. I like how my voice goes from like normal, regular human being to like whatever that is.
That was extra high pitched this week. Oh God.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's next week.
That's next week. Exactly. Fred, what do we got for Cues with the Beauts this week?
We got dos questions. I don't speak Spanish, so don't ask me. First one, Matt G. Who would win a one-on-one for shooter and goalie with you two?
So I'm assuming that means like we take turns being shooters and goalies. You want to go first?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably me because Jesse, I don't think you.
Yeah, we're on ice for this. This is an on ice situation.
You
right?
said before you can't like shoot that well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So based on like just the fact that I know that Jesse can't skate that well and stick handle that well, probably me. But if we want to go up,
I feel
this is old news. Everybody knew this. If we did goalie stats, I think Jesse could stand a chance in goalie.
I'm much more of a defensive player that will stop things. I played goalie for lacrosse for one game approximately, but I was always a defenseman, so I certainly am better at stopping things than scoring.
I mean, I've seen you skate, Alexis, but are you a shooter though?
Yeah.
Can you shoot the puck?
I'm sure she can shoot the puck while on skates. I can't even do that.
Yeah, I grew up with a hockey rink in my backyard every year.
Making sure.
Yeah. I'll go Snipe City. You want me to go Bardown on you, Jesse?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, that's the only way I'm allowing you to score. Like, I won't even try to save it.
Really want this to be a video segment.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, now that we've waited until all the outdoor rinks are gone.
Yeah,
but
I should be great. 50-degree temps. We should be fine.
Yeah. Well, then see, neither of us will be able to skate on it. So there you go. I
mean, goalie stats, though, I give Jesse the nod in the goalie stats.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm sure Alexis would be far better off.
She gets all mad. I agree.
I agree. Whatever. Because I'm a competitor and I hate to lose and I hate to swallow my pride and say,
well, you got time to practice. We could do this next winter. I'll give you all summer to sharpen up your shooting skills.
I call up Andy Ness. I will call upon some of my NHL friends that are, I'm sure, listening right now. Bruce Boudreau will coach me. It'll be great.
It'll be a whole thing.
Okay, perfect. Good question. What else we got?
All right. This comes from TendyTalk. Why is it that historically the Wild play different in front of their number 2 goalie? He goes on, or she goes on to say, I've noticed this trend through the 11-20 era. Just a different team shows up in front of Al or Kahk, whoever it's been. Do you agree, and why do you think that it is?
I mean, I think that's probably pretty common for every team because your backup is your backup. And so sometimes you have the sense that you need to play a little bit stronger in front in order for them to see less pucks, in order for them to make less mistakes because they're maybe not playing as much. I haven't noticed it as a trend, but I guess I haven't paid that much attention to it. And again, I've just always assumed certainly the defense lines up to play differently in front of their different goaltenders. And naturally, every goaltender has a different way of play. Al is very, very, going back to, let's say, Alex and Devin Dubnyk, for instance, and I did a goalie story on this, so this is the only reason I really know it. Alex is a very vocal goalie, a very communicative goalie. Mm-hmm. So the defense played differently.
You can hear him all the way up in the press box.
So the defense obviously responds differently to that than a Devin Dubnyk who didn't say nearly as much or let you know the position or kind of dictate around what things are going. So that obviously plays a role into it. But again, I hadn't noticed that it was necessarily a trend. And I certainly don't think it's anything that the guys are always thinking of. I think they're just, depending on who's in net that evening, might adjust slightly, but I haven't seen too dramatic of a change from goaltender to goaltender. Alexis, have you?
Kind of to your same point. No, not a super big trend, but I will say this. There is, think about situations in which a backup goalie needs to come in. Okay. An injury, your goalie got pulled because you weren't, he got scored on a bunch, or you're in a back-to-back situation or something like that. Right. So you are going to want to help out this backup goalie, to your point, Jesse, and it's going to be a desperate situation where you want to try to play better because at this point now something has either gone wrong or you're in a tough game because it's back-to-back situation or whatnot. Mm-hmm. I am going to coin something here as what I will like to call the David Aries effect, where you get someone like that who comes in. Should that man stand a chance to win a game? Probably not. But did they get him the win? Yes, they did. So it's kind of that situation where it's just, the goalie gets thrown in and all of the guys in front of him think, okay, it's go time now. We either got to step up our game or we got to play for this guy. And not that it was anything against the netminder who either started that game or played the night before or whatever it may be, but there is a different vibe when that backup netminder is in net. And I think it's something that could be felt by the rest of the team. So I will say that much. And yeah, agree 100% with at least the Al Stalock point there, that he is a very different netminder and will change the entire outlook of a game just because of the way he plays.
I mean, go and listen to this week's episode with Alex Stalock if you want more Tendy talk on him. Also, go back and listen to Devin Dubnyk. And there you go. Boom. Compare the two, see what you think. Certainly two different guys and two different styles of play. But great question. Certainly would love to hear your feedback and let us know what we might be missing or what you might be seeing as well, Mr. Tendy Talk.
Next question from our favorite FabFive.
There's another FabFive.
Who has the best accuracy record on the previews that you guys are doing throughout the season?
So I think it's Jesse. We should really keep score and do like some kind of prize at the end of the year. We'll remember this for next year.
Yes.
It's got to be Jesse, because I literally talk out of my ass half the time and just try to make people laugh. And Jesse actually comes in.
I take it like serious. Like there's two very different people that do previews.
Got like a whole list of stats. She's like ready to go. I'm like, I'm wearing lucky pants. I think the Wild are gonna win tonight. I don't know. Yeah,
it's so true to form to who each of us are, right? Like I tried to do one that was much more Alexa style than it was left on the cutting room floor, because my God, it just felt so awkward. Like even my husband, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to be funny and cool." And she's like, "Not." So give that up right now. That's not
I tried to do one like Jesse, because I'm like, God, she did so well with like the stats. So like there was one that I did where I like did all this research on these stats. I'm like comparing the teams. I'm like, okay, I think I've got like a good thing going here. And I was just like, this just isn't me. Like it
doesn't feel right. I know. No. And you know, fun to be fair, nobody gives a shit about the stats apparently either.
They
like
don't.
They really much prefer the rah. And my cynicalness will be like, no, we're not rah-rahing.
Jesse's all about the stats. I'm all about the vibes. We got our own separate things going on.
And then Fred's there to keep both of us on
sane.
Yep.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just upset that Pickle Predicts hasn't come back yet.
Okay, wait.
See, I am too, but she reminds me that they sucked. So there's
Pickle Predicts did suck. I was thinking about bringing it back for this week, but Pickle Predicts is so chaotic. I'm like, no, I need the Wild to have like a very normal series. So I'll bring it back for like when there's not as much on the line. But it's coming. Pickle Predicts is coming. Just you wait.
I love it. Certainly hope you guys are enjoying that, because they are a lot of fun for us to do. I am having fun, whether I look like it or not. So I promise within my stats. But yeah, so I'm claiming the victory on that. I do think I have 100%. The more accurate, more wins. So let's go with that. So thank you guys for your questions. As always, we'll take them every single week on this YouTube exclusive Cues with the Beauts. And be sure to check out our episode this week. Our guest, Alex Stalock. Go look at past episodes though too. We got a lot of great people on there talking hockey, which is what we like to do. Subscribe, rate, show us some love, go buy some of our merch, all the good stuff. And we always appreciate you. Have a good day, guys.